Ich bin echt gespannt. Es gibt 97 Errungenschaften. Also ich kann euch gleich sagen, weil also die Beschreibung und alles ist ja so, ja, vertraue ihr nicht und sowas. Wir werden der Prinzessin vertrauen. Das wird unser erster Run sein. Wir lieben die Prinzessin. Das ist eine Prinzessin, wir lieben sie. Flickering Image Effects. Have heart and see them through. Ja, ja. No pre-made endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Na dann. Kapitel 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Hä? War das schon immer so? Ich erinnere mich nicht dran. Ja, ich distanziere mich von euch. Muss man ja auch. Also wisst ihr, was ihr eigentlich für... Also ihr macht so richtig... So komische Sachen macht ihr immer, wisst ihr? Ich mach mal Auto.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Das ist okay für mich. The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Oh mein Gott, wie viel... Can someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la Revolution! Nein. Es ist nicht nett, eine Prinzessin zu töten.
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Ich hasse den Narrator. Was hat denn der gegen Prinzessin? Da vielleicht macht sie es ja nur, weil sie eingesperrt ist,
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
TikTok.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And
Hör auf, du willst mir nur die Frau madig
by
machen.
asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of
ich glaube, er ist böse.
you do your job and slay her.
Vielleicht ist es ja okay für mich, wenn die Welt endet.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Nein, nein, ich will das nicht
Are
machen.
you serious? No, you have to do it.
Hallo, JP Queen. Genau. Schau mal, ich gehe da zur Hütte und dann rede ich mit ihr und wenn sie so schlimm ist, wie du sagst, dann vielleicht slay ich die dann. Aber erstmal will ich sie treffen.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Ich vertraue Erzählern nicht, die
You
mir
make your way
erzählen,
up the short
dass irgendwas
path to
böse
the
ist.
cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Noch lauter.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Noch
Ignore him.
lauter.
He doesn't know what he's
Okay.
talking about.
Wir gehen in die Kabine. Die Hütte meine ich. So.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the
Ist jetzt
floor
besser?
and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Gern doch. Ich will ja, dass ihr was hört. Ich meine, wir können ja mal das Messer mitnehmen.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult
bin
to
einfach
slay
1
the
zu 1 genauso
princess
wie
and
beim
save
ersten
the
Mal.
world without it.
Ich glaube, ganz ehrlich, ich mache alles immer wie sonst. Aber
The
ist ja
door to
gut.
the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Ich habe einen Dolch in
She
der Hand
sounds
jetzt.
dangerous. It's
Hä?
almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Ich finde, die klingt voll
You
sexy.
walk down the stairs
Hello,
and lock
typewriter.
eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Nö, ich wollte dich kennenlernen. Was? Niemals. Warum würdest du sowas denken? Okay, ja, du hast mich. Ich will dich slayen. Habe ich noch nicht entschieden. Ich bin erstmal hier, um zu reden.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Ich lasse das fallen. Ich meine, wir haben es ja in Griff weiter.
Blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Ja, gerne.
Against your better
Hallo?
judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
We'll be fine.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Ja, schon ziemlich. Eine Beziehung? Machst du mich an?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Wie kriege ich dich hier raus? Will sie ja noch gar nicht. Ich bin hier, weil du angeblich das Ende der Welt bedeutest. Da sind Leute draußen, die denken, dass du die Welt zugrunde richtest. Was sagst du dazu? Wie ist denn dein Name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Wie lange bist du schon hier unten? Weißt du, warum ich hier unten bin, um dich zu töten? Über wie lange bist du schon hier?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Naja, gut, es gibt Leute, die denken, du würdest das Weltende bedeuten. Was sagst du
Just
da?
tell her that.
Doch!
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world.
Na also,
I think.
alles von
I don't
deiner.
remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
Die Arme.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Nee. Erzähl mal, warum? What are you going to do if I let you out of here? I was hoping you'd tell me. Ja, ich hatte gehofft, du würdest mir das erzählen.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her.
Ich
She
auch?
doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't
Ja,
tell me
deswegen vertraue ich
why.
dem ja auch nicht.
That doesn't sound right to me.
Ja,
And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
richtig. Hä, die ist voll schlau, die mag ich.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
Nee.
But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person. And a subjugating monarch, no less.
Jetzt lass doch mal die Monarchie da raus. Okay, und wie würde ich dich herauskriegen?
You can't. Don't
Ach,
bother.
halt doch die Fresse, Mann.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Nee, das kriegst du
Her
nicht.
sharp eyes
Ich
settle
erinnere
on
mich da an
little
Sachen.
Dave. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Ja, wir haben genug geredet.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Slay the Prinzessin nicht. Ich krieg dich hier aus. I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while decide what to do. Ja, also erstmal lasse ich dich hier. Ich guck da mich mal um, ne? Ohne dich.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
Ja, finde ich auch.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Die Frage ist, wo gehe ich hin?
You have to make a choice.
Geh ich
Let's
hier so
hope for
hin?
all our sakes it's the right one.
Hm. Ja, okay, dann wir lassen sie raus. Na, dankeschön, Zilade, das war lieb. Dankeschön. Und hallo. Hm. Ja, wir lassen sie raus.
Oh, for the love of...
Good. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
You're making a huge
Mir ist
mistake.
kalt, ne?
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
There is a key. Do you have any ideas besides me cutting you out of here? I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free. Yeah, we're breaking free.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Danke, Clipper, aber ich weiß gerade noch nicht, ob die irgendwann die Untertitel zu weit nach links gehen, deswegen bleibe ich erstmal hier. Ich versuche mal.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Oh,
You're
gute
here
Besserung
to
zu
slay
laden.
the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Hey, lass mich mal hier
Your
raus.
shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Okay, wir gehen runter.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Ich save sie natürlich.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered
Der
by
wächst
it.
nach.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Okay. Oh, ich mag diesen Effekt. Also den Parallaxe-Effekt an der Maus. Let's go.
No, we
Jetzt
won't
ist es
have any of
blutig.
that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world.
Ach, halt die Fresse.
I just can't let her escape into the world.
Hallo, Lex.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Sag mal, was bin ich,
This
ein
isn't fair.
Seemonster?
You can't just do that. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Ich resiste weiter.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
Ich versuch's.
I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
Liebe ist nie einfach, Leute.
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Kapitel 2. Der Gefangene.
You're on a path in the woods.
Oh, es sind
And at
immer
the end of
Kapitel,
that
wenn ich
path
was mache.
is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't,
Oh, heißt das? Ja, Déjà-vu und so.
terrible sense of déjà vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Nee.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Okay, ich sehe.
You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Das mehr als nur ein Déjà-vu.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Lass mal annehmen, dass ich die Wahrheit erzähle und all das ist schon mal passiert. Warum sollte ich auf dich hören? Warum sollte ich überhaupt irgendwas tun? Ja? Erzähl mal. Penner.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional.
Ich bin nie gemein zu irgendjemanden.
Sure
Also,
you are.
Ich mag den
Anyway,
Skeptiker.
I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Also der
What do you mean?
Narrator, der
Of
gefällt mir
course there
nicht.
weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would.
Also, die
What a
Welt ist noch da.
conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul.
Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are.
You're talking in circles.
Ich mag den Skeptiker sehr.
No,
Sehr.
I'm talking in facts.
Nein, in Circles. Von mir aus auch in Quadrats, aber nicht in Facts. Ja, wir werden der nächste Narrator. Chat, sind wir Team Princess oder Team Narrator? Narrator. Also Team Prinzessin oder Team Erzähler? Steht groß Narr. Ja, das Wort Narr steckt da drin, ja. Aber da, gut. Guter Chat. Chat, let's go with the princess und so. Lasst uns mal über die Prinzessin reden.
Just be quick about it.
Die ist nett. Das ist leider. Tani, kein King-Shaming, aber nein, die Prinzessin wird jetzt nicht geslayed. The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her, and all she did was slit my throat. How is she supposed to end the world? Oh, look, aber, also ich meine, ich würde schon gern wissen, warum, also wer sie da eingesperrt hat und was das für ein Ort ist, ja. Aber ich finde auch wichtig, die Prinzessin zu verteidigen.
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right?
What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets.
Also ich finde, dass der Skeptiker der neue Erzähler werden sollte. Leave your pockets unchecked. Ich check meine Pockets.
You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The evidence," written across the front.
Jetzt bin ich überzeugt.
Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth."
Der hat halt meine
That
Schrift
doesn't prove
gefaked.
anything. How do we know you didn't just
Ja,
forge our handwriting?
der Skeptiker, ich fühle ihn.
I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust
Nö.
that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
Vor allem so schreibe ich nicht.
You mean you're
Ich
on
kann
our
in
side
einer
as long
Zeile
as we
schreiben.
do what you tell us to?
Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk.
I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
Ja gut, ich kann es trotzdem mal fragen. Ja, wer hat sie eingesperrt und was ist das für ein Ort?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is.
Ich mag Menschen
It's
nicht
a path
sonderlich.
in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Overcomplicate. Ich soll die umbringen. Also, Chat, ich weiß nicht. If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me? Das ist eine gute Frage. Being Katie, why aren't you telling me? What aren't you telling me? Das ist auch eine gute Frage.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken
Ich bin
record,
kein
but the less you know about her, the
Auftragsmörderer.
better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
Ich hasse es, wenn Leute sagen, ja, du musst mir dabei einfach vertrauen. Ganz ehrlich, kein Mensch vertraut jemandem, der sagt, ja, du musst mir dabei einfach vertrauen. Übrigens nie raus. Ich brauche sie doch nicht mehr. Ja, die hat E2. Ja, ist unsere erste Runde. Also, außer man zählt halt pro Tod, aber der Tod ist halt Story, deswegen ist es okay, glaube ich. Genau, also die Leute, die sie eingesperrt haben, warum haben die sie nicht geslayed?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps. But it's just the way things are.
An sowas glaube ich nicht, danke.
I didn't know we were special. Of course you're
Du hast
special.
10.000 Euro, du musst mir vertrauen.
Why else would you be here? Yes. Right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get
Nein!
it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
We're all in this together once we know. Okay, das
Great.
reicht, danke.
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Ich drehe mich um und gehe einfach.
I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here.
Du hast
What
recht.
about her?
Ja, nee,
Seriously? You're just going to
der
turn around
der
and leave?
Skeptiker hat recht.
Do you even know where you're going?
Nee, das passt schon. Ich höre auf den Skeptiker. Okay, fine. You're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and I'll slay the princess. I go to the cabin and I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her. Maybe I won't. I guess we'll see. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin. It's like I said, I'm pretty okay with the world ending. The coming of a new dawn. Also beyond. Ich kann noch weiter scrollen. Our own. Continue down the path away from the cabin. Nee, wir gehen noch nicht. Also. Ich kann nur sagen, vielleicht slay ich sie, vielleicht nicht. Ich kann nicht sagen, ich gehe hin, aber ich slay sie nicht. Naja.
I guess we will. Good. Going back to the cabin is the only way we can get to the
Genau.
bottom of things.
Genau. Danke, Skeptiker. Ey, das ist Ehrenbree.
A warning before you go any further.
Ja.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud?
Jetzt lass den Skeptiker.
No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Was für ein Clown, du Clown. Hallo, Christinchen. Hä? Also, ganz ehrlich, ja, vertraue ihr kein Wort, was sie sagt, weil sie wird lügen und sie wird cheaten und sonst was. Aber du nicht, oder was? Ich bin Team Prinzessin.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Ja genau, ich will zum Spiegel. Also ich glaube, ich nehme auch diesmal das Messer nicht mit, weil wir haben sie befreit und das war eigentlich der Grund, warum wir, also das Messer war der Grund, warum sie uns töten konnte und das Messer war der Grund, warum wir versucht haben, sie zu töten. Deswegen glaube ich, nehme ich das diesmal nicht mit. Ich gehe erstmal zum Spiegel.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago.
Ja.
And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Das ist voll anders als letztes Mal.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
Oh, ich wüsste gern, ob mein Skeptiker möchte, dass ich das Messer nehme. Ich gehe
I'm
einfach.
afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade.
Okay, gut.
We're in a dangerous situation.
Na dann.
I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon.
Okay, Skeptiker.
Are you sure? She killed us with it last time.
Ja.
What if she turns it against us again?
Yes, I'm sure. And I've already got a plan for that.
Wirklich? Ja, dann nehmen wir es mit.
Still with those past life delusions,
Habe ich eine
are we?
multiple
I hope part of
Persönlichkeitsstörung?
that plan is don't give the world any monstrosity your only weapon, because unless you've decided to arm the princess, I don't think you need to worry about her having a weapon.
Peachy. We'll be fine.
Was, Peach? Prinzessin Peach?
Okay. I'm trusting you.
Daisy. Hey, hab ich hier gar nichts zu sagen? Nein, aber also, wenn meine skeptische Stimme das sagt, dann höre ich auf die skeptische Stimme.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Thanks. I mean it.
Gern doch, ich vertraue dir, Skeptiker. Du hast mich nie verlangt, dass ich dir vertraue. Noch ist es nicht blutig.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs.
Die ist jetzt schon
It's
rot.
been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
Wieso ist die jetzt schon rot? Die war vorher rosa am Anfang.
You walk down the stairs
Hä?
and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck
Jetzt müssen wir aber
cranking
viel
loudly as she
abschneiden.
moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she
Was ist das
adjusts
hier?
her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall?
Ja.
Odd that in a place where everything
Ja.
seems to serve a distinct
Alter, der
purpose,
Skeptiker, ich
There would
schwöre,
be
wir sind
something
so.
so obviously useless.
that was there last time too, wasn't it?
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Hello, John Boy. I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just going to leave her here. Nein, wir sitten bisher.
You step towards the
Hi.
princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
Guter Punkt.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Ich sitte da, wo sie mir gesagt hat, dass ich sitten soll.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
My intentions, what do you mean? I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? What happened after I died last time? That other chain on the wall, who is it for? Für mich? Was ist passiert das letzte Mal, als ich gestorben bin?
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, I'll fill you in. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
Du sprichst rot, das ist nicht nett.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
It's complicated things how, exactly?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Okay.
Now hold
Hallo,
on,
Rafe.
if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles.
I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus.
Ja.
This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Es hat mich schon gewundert, dass sie so lange nichts sagt. Aber boah, für mich ist es so schwierig, weil ich ja so wenig geschlafen habe. Boah, das. Oh, you were asking about my intentions. Oh, what did you mean by that? That other chain on the wall, who is it for? What would you have me do? I think I'm just going to leave you here, actually. Slay the princess. Nein! Die andere Kette, für wen ist die?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
Oh, Partnerlook.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Ich guck sie mir mal an.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
Romantisch.
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
Ja.
But what if he's telling the truth?
Tut er nie.
He isn't.
I am.
Ja, gucken uns das mal an. Ich meine, was soll passieren, nicht wahr?
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it
willkommen im
practically
Chat.
loops from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Nein. Errungenschaft Prison of the Mind.
Yes.
Become your own jailer. Jailer.
Oh, so it does fit. But I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't
Yeah.
we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll
Wir
starve.
können die Prinzessin
That's
essen.
horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Naja, jetzt wo wir beide hier fest sind.
Yep.
Was sollen wir denn tun?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Wusstest du, dass das passieren würde?
No.
Smalltalk ist nicht so dein Ding, hä?
Nope.
That's rude.
Okay.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent.
At least the world is safe.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does. But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first. A bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there.
Hallo?
Then they get larger. And larger.
Hey, hast du mitgekriegt, dass das also sich verändert?
I don't like small talk.
Ja,
Remember?
ist aber kein Smalltalk, Bitch.
Still rude.
Gut. Dann warten wir halt. Also unser erstes
You
Date hätten wir
continue to
irgendwie ein
wait in
bisschen spannender
silence, and the
vorgestellt,
cabin
ja?
continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Und dabei hat sie nicht mal Speck da dran, der noch also sie länger halten könnte.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls.
Oh.
And
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either
Ja,
of
hey,
us.
gutes Ende, oder?
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
What? Hey! But you don't get the chance to respond. Something has taken her away and it's left something else in her stead. Das war mein Date.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. The narrator is gone. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror. Ja, ich glaube, ich muss im...
Something
Der Spiegel.
about it. I don't think you should.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back.
Hey, wir können ja erstmal das andere...
If there's even her to find anymore.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. He is. Does that mean the world ended?
It must have. Do any of us know what the world ending is supposed to look like?
Dann gehen wir mal zum Spiegel,
I'm
ne?
begging you, don't do this.
Ich muss. Na, der Spiegel hat dir sonst nie Angst
It's
gemacht.
different now. It feels... I don't know.
Ich bin jetzt nicht mehr der Hero. Nee. You approach the mirror. Wir gucken uns mal unsere Spiegel-Dings an. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. The body, it's you. Errungenschaft. It's you. Hä? You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Hä? Wie proceed to the cabin? Oh! You are at the cabin. Oh, Prinzessin!
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Was bist du?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Ich weiß nicht, was ich bin.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of a fragile vessel.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
Lass sie raus!
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Bist du die Prinzessin?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Aber warst du immer die Prinzessin? Oder machst du sie zu einem Teil von dir?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Oh mein Gott, kann ich sie viel fragen? Attack the entity, destroy your body. Warum mein Körper? Was habe ich denn damit zu tun? Ist das Ende der Welt?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Guter Punkt, danke. Kennst du den Erzähler?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Bist du das, was mich geschickt hat, um die Prinzessin zu slayen? Und hast du mich gefangen genommen?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Kennen wir uns?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Und was passiert jetzt?
Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Oh. Okay, also wir müssen die ganzen Sachen schaffen, wir müssen ihre ganzen Seiten erfahren, damit wir das richtige Ende kriegen. Hast du nicht Angst, dass ich einen Weg finde, dich zu töten?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Wie viel werde ich vergessen?
Everything, until we meet again.
Okay, also wir haben ein Ende. Also wir haben einen Teil gefunden. Wie viele Stücke muss ich noch finden?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find.
Ja, weil ich einen hab. Toll.
I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Gut. Und was, wenn ich nicht zulasse, dass du das mir antust?
Then we will be here forever.
Okay, na
as we are
dann.
now. Unfinished.
Chat, habt ihr Zeit?
Dry. Hollow.
I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world.
We got you.
I help you.
Bisschen später da Lunali 1 Herz.
Danke für die Erinnerung. If I help you, is that what you're going to do? Dankeschön, Fleischwolf, für die 17 Monate Resub. Dankeschön, Dankeschön. Und hallo, Fleischwolf. Vielen Dank.
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you? Let it
How can
be.
I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Ich gehe nicht zurück, ich warte.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Ich warte für immer. Okay, ich speichere kurz. Ich speichere nochmal ganz. Oh mein Gott, wie. Oh. Ich warte für immer.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
What? Du blöde Kuh, du hast mein Spiel ausgemacht.